Have you ever hesitated to increase your camera's ISO setting, fearing it would ruin your photos with grainy noise? It is a common concern among photographers. Well, here is the good news. High ISO does not always guarantee image noise, and you might be surprised by how much your camera can handle. While higher ISO settings generally increase the potential for noise, modern camera technology has significantly blurred this line, offering for more flexibility than before. The relationship between ISO and noise is more nuanced than a simple direct correlation. Fundamentally, ISO measures your camera sensor's sensitivity to light. A higher ISO amplifies the electrical signal from the sensor, allowing you to capture images in dimmer conditions. However, this amplification can also magnify unwanted electronic interference, which we perceive as noise. The amount of noise generated depends heavily on several critical factors, primarily the size of your camera's sensor and the efficiency of its light-gathering capabilities. Cameras with larger sensors, like those found in full-frame or APS-C models, typically produce cleaner images at higher ISO settings compared to cameras with smaller sensors, as they can collect more light per pixel. Additionally, the camera's internal processing and noise reduction algorithms play a huge role in minimizing visible noise before the image is even saved. So, how can you minimize noise when shooting at higher ISO settings? First, always try to use the lowest ISO possible while maintaining a fast enough shutter speed to prevent blur, and an aperture that gives you your desired depth of field. If more light is unavailable, maximize it by using wider apertures and slower shutter speeds if your subject is stationary. When increasing ISO becomes necessary, understand your camera's limits. Many cameras have a sweet spot where high ISO performs acceptably. You can also leverage in-camera or post-processing noise reduction tools, which can effectively clean up images, though sometimes at the cost of some fine detail. An interesting distinction to remember is that not all grain is noise. Film photography often embraced natural film grain as an aesthetic choice, while digital noise is typically seen as an imperfection. However, some photographers intentionally add artificial grain in editing to replicate a classic film look. Also, modern camera sensors are often referred to as being ISO invariant, meaning that as long as you capture enough light, brightening an underexposed image in post-processing can sometimes yield less noise than simply raising the ISO significantly in camera. Ultimately, do not be afraid to push your camera's ISO limits when lighting conditions demand it. Understanding the underlying factors that contribute to noise and knowing your camera's capabilities allows you to make informed decisions. This confidence will empower you to capture great photos in challenging situations, turning what might seem like a limitation into an opportunity for creativity.